greedily breathing the sharp air in. I made sure to dominate the ghost. Then again, reminding myself that violence begets violence, I allowed that particular individual, clearly burdened with a fragile sense of self, to keep up with the charade of power. I sought a way around him. Anything was better than destroying his self-perception. Oh, there were more. Apparently, this ruin was home not only to one ghostly warrior with traces of putrid masculinity, but rather an entire tribe of undead soldiers. Deciding to spare them all from a humiliating defeat, which they clearly wouldn't be able to deal with, I sought high and low. I felt inclined to summon Torrent and leave the handling of that situation to my glorious steed. I was in for something of a surprise, though, as we within minutes found ourselves looking at a monumental wall, whose absurd proportions defied any conventional approach to architecture. I am telling you, it was so grand that it made the Dectus lift look like a younger sibling, albeit one with far more refined taste. Ignoring a fairly big-boned wench, unfortunately wearing a sadly revealing dress in the color of fleshly desire, we faced the fear of gravity and ventured out into the wide open space, only to get a little surprise sent from afar. What the? You there! Enjoying a moment of peace, I gazed back at that uncanny wall and was struck by how different it looked from here. Was it even a wall? It seemed as if it was part of the mountain itself. And there was that parasitic tree, slowly devouring everyone unfortunate enough to come into existence in this cruel world. Finally safe on the other side of that gigantic structure, we went further into this snowy wasteland, and I was caught off guard as I came upon that incompetent warrior maiden. Well, at least she was still a delight to look at.
To think we'd meet in such a place. Call upon me again. In battle.
I think not.
I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Halig tree. Indeed, I believe that is where Melania will be found.
Most likely another charlatan of the sword. We also passed ghostly wildlife on our way, and just as I wondered about these mysterious sights, I heard a faint voice from within.
Do you hear me? It is I, Lieutenant. We're almost there.
Where exactly?
Castle Sol lies just off to the north, where the other medallion is housed.
Bloody hell.
It will grant passage to the land of the Halig tree.
I had made a promise long ago, to that inept archer lacking the willpower to even walk on her own lazy feet. Cursed be my petulant desire to do good. Well, she would just have to wait until I had found my enigmatic destination. After all, what could she do about it? She was hardly able to run after me. Ha! What a remarkable place this was. Even the lakes had been frozen solid. And in my search, I rode through graveyards. All those people, all those lives, where are they now? Gone like bubbles in a stream. Oh, what was this? The moody reflections on mortality had soured my mind, and I knew just what to do about this grumpy old tree. There were two of them now? Well, the more the merrier. My flames didn't differentiate. Burn, you petulant wooden freaks. Leaving the smoking pile of ashes with a gleeful smile, I kept going, despite a crushing headache and a slight fever. Was that a merchant down there? Did he go out of his way to avoid customers? Not far from here, though. While scouring through some long-forgotten ruins covered by snow, a fragile voice spoke from out of the blue, clearly not to me.
Where did you go?
For some unfathomable reason, A distant memory from the very beginning of my journey in this strange world resurfaced. Why now?
Promise me when we turn 14, we go to see the stars.
I somehow felt compelled to grab the device given to me by my wife-to-be, and ended up summoning that weak yet adorable jellyfish.
Sister, where did you go?
What happened now was unimaginable.
Dear sister,
That didn't look right.
you're finally here. No time to waste. Let's see the stars.
And just like that, they vanished, maybe even going to the very stars studied with such passion by kind-hearted Thops. Teary-eyed by this tender reunion of long-lost siblings, I made my way out of the ancient ruin and headed north as daylight waned. Of course, beauty was but fleeting in this fiendish world, so I was naturally attacked within seconds by enormous skeletons rising from the earth itself. Torrent took over, and riding like the wind we passed by the ghostly creatures until we, by the gods, what a sight! An ominous structure had unexpectedly come into view below me, next to one of those eerie mausoleums, forever wandering aimlessly in the lands between. That had to be Castle Sol, the stronghold mentioned by Latenna, the place where I could get my hands on the other part of the medallion. Even from this far away, I could tell that visiting that menacing castle wouldn't exactly constitute a benign experience. And who was that stern-looking fellow, strutting in the middle of it all? I didn't particularly feel like going down there, not even in the slightest. But unfortunately, I was reminded of a request I had carelessly agreed to.
Would you consider doing me a great service?
To hell with my good intentions, which had brought me and others so much suffering. But if I was to earn Alexander's heartwarming camaraderie, I couldn't allow myself to become a vile oath-breaker. There was no getting out of this one.